Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder, saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. You can't hurt my fifis, unfortunately. You know what? I was actually looking forward to the start of 2024. Not for the usual reasons, resolutions, the new me, the usual crap that people say and never follow through on. Nope, the things that I am most excited about are Like a Dragon 8, Persona 3 Reloaded, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh yeah, we're almost there, baby. Woo! But there are other things that I wanted to see, specifically Steamboat Willie. Because that version of Mickey Mouse is finally in the public domain, meaning that we can do whatever we want with it. Hell, I can have the entire cartoon run for this whole video and it would be completely okay. Disney cannot do a thing. Isn't that fun? I was so excited because I can literally think of hundreds of different things that you can do with it from a creative sense. Children's books, a cartoon like Cuphead, games like Cuphead, or point-and-click adventure games. A story of Michael Mouse struggling to captain his own ship. His girlfriend is kidnapped and he has to go save her like Mario. He and his friends have a few too many milk bottles and have to retrace their steps to find out what happened. Add Steamboat Willie characters to Cult of the Lamb, or what absolutely everyone does, just make a horror movie, because of course that's the first thing that happens.
Right.
I don't know, maybe I read too many creepypastas when I was a kid and I played too much Silent Hill 2. Maybe horror just isn't my favorite genre because it's hard for fake things to actually scare me, but I just kind of find this trend a little bit boring and cliche. I did see a funny video by Doopus Gloopus, but that's about it. It feels odd, like this should be a bigger deal than what it is, that I should be seeing Steamboat Willie projects popping up left and right, either being announced or coming out. All the characters being added as skims into video games, artwork online, videos. I guess that things like movies and shows take a little bit longer to make, along with books, but come on, this is Mickey Mouse. I thought there would be a lot more excitement and a lot more things coming out right now. Granted, maybe I'm getting a little bit too overexcited here. Maybe not everyone has as many ideas for a cartoon mouse as I do, and it would be difficult to add them in short notice, especially if you're trying to film a live action movie or show. But it does kind of make me wonder if other people are afraid of Disney or something, like the company issued some sort of secret announcement that if anyone in the mainstream uses this version of Mickey Mouse as their own, then they will be persona non grata. Because come on, everyone knew that this version of Mickey Mouse was going into the public domain. I at least thought that Disney's main competition would do something with the idea. The Minions making fun of the Steamboat Willie characters, Shrek getting drunk with Mickey in a bar, you know, something fun. But it feels like an entertainment mafia is cracking down on people right now.
Where's my money? Where's my money?
Hey, maybe I'll eat my words. This video is coming out in January of 2024. Maybe in a few weeks, months, or years, we will be flooded with Steamboat Willie content, art, and stories. I'm just a little disappointed that there isn't a flood of people taking advantage of it right now. Like with Winnie the Pooh, really no one is going to capitalize on this? My thing is writing novels, all of which exist in the same universe. Now there is a mental zone for fictional characters, so I'm probably going to end up throwing cameos and references or just outright appearances in that section of the universe. But there are so many different creative people out there that could do so many different things. And if Steamboat Willie is too complicated to introduce into your lore, or if people are afraid of Disney, there's always the option of Peter Pan, which also came into the public domain. Now that's a combination of characters, setting, and lore that would be fun to play with. And no, not just with a horror movie, but actually, that's a premise that's way more suited for horror. Some eternally young brat kidnaps a bunch of people to play the roles of his lost boys, pirates, natives, mermaids, and many more. And Tinkerbell could be a demon and powering it all through a desire to suck the life and imagination from these people. That could work.
Really makes you think.
But there are hundreds of ways to go with the Peter Pan concept. Lord knows there's been 50 billion interpretations of Alice in Wonderland. Now, all of this might sound weird coming from me. I've always been begging Hollywood and other creative types to come up with original ideas. But here's the thing, nothing is ever completely original. Every story builds on what came before. And I think using public domain properties is fair game to come up with original and inspired ideas. Because God knows that copyright is absolutely shattered right now. How in the world can fictional characters seem to have more rights than actual people? Of course, I know it's the fact that the law treats corpos like fictional people, and because companies can't even really die, so we're at an impasse. If a company goes bankrupt, they just sell the rights to the ideas to someone else, which sounds absolutely insane to me. Personally, I think copyright should just belong to the creator for the lifetime of the person in charge. Books, movies, shows. Then, when that person passes, the copyright and residuals continue for 20 years, because that would be the perfect amount of time to make sure that any possible children are taken care of. Unless we add in really unusual situations like frozen sperm or eggs being used long after the original person is dead, or if we get cloning to work anytime soon. You see, yet another idea that came from these public domain characters. I just hope it doesn't become real anytime soon.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
There's also the argument that perhaps many creators want to make their own ideas. Using other people's work and ideas can get a bit tiresome. Real story, the reason I wrote my first original story was because of Sword Art Online. I thought the idea was so good, but the execution was so horrible that I wrote a 5-book series called Caged Demons with only the basic premise being similar. And no, those won't be available anytime soon. Those are like 10 years old. I completely need to rewrite them. They are crap right now. But I am sure that there are plenty of people out there salivating at the idea of getting their hands on some characters and making them into Sherlock Holmes, the most famous public domain character of all. Can you imagine Spider-Man and Batman being available for everyone to use? Now those are characters that would instantly be taken advantage of. I can see dozens of different comics, books, shows, and movies being dropped immediately when the time comes. 2057 and 2035, respectively, by the way. It's weird to think that in 10 years I could write Batman stories, sell them, make a profit, and not face any negative consequences whatsoever. In all actuality, I'm kind of surprised that this even happened. Disney is the one who broke copyright to begin with, after all. I thought for sure that they would find some way to extend their ownership of Steamboat Willie by a few years. This feels like a small victory, that ideas can't be owned forever. And maybe it's the concept of imaginary people owning something instead of the individual or the family members that really gets to me. This is a big deal, and it should excite everyone to make something, even if it's just for laughs. You can literally make a crayon drawing of this version of Mickey Mouse, sell it for a penny, and be completely fine. Disney could not sue you. Just be careful not to add any gloves or red pants, because copyright law is still stupid. But what are you gonna do? Take the small victories when you can, even if it's just for comedy, horror, or more intimate scenes. You know what? I'm surprised that I haven't seen much of that online. Maybe I should look it up to see what the furries are doing. Never mind. I don't want to be on an FBI watch list. You're welcome to disagree with all this. That's fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion. Hey, do you like stories about an interconnected world? Then consider giving my LPCO books a try. They are all connected in some way, but you can jump in at any point, unless it's a series. Then you have to start at the beginning. But I got 3 books out right now and 3 coming next year. You will not have to wait long for content. Either way, thank you. I appreciate you. Do not despair.